Innovative thinking, responsible technology. These are the core values of a corporate culture that demands we responsibly use our technological resources to protect the lives of our citizens, public servants, and soldiers. Umbra Applied Technologies. Changing the world is what we do. Headquartered in New Jersey, Umbra Applied Technologies is a global security company providing advanced technology internationally and is principally engaged in the research, design, development, manufacturing, and integration of advanced defense, security, and technology systems, products, and services. Water, the most abundant element on Earth. 75% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Only 2.5% of the Earth's water is fresh water. Of that, 69% is frozen in glaciers and ice caps, leaving less than 1% of the world's water supply as fresh groundwater. The world's population is expected to grow by 50% over the next 50 years. How long before Earth's fresh water resources are overtaxed? 1.4 million children die every year because of unclean water. This amounts to 4,000 deaths a day, or 1 every 20 seconds. Of the Earth's nearly 7 billion people, 783 million do not have access to safe water. This is roughly 11% of the world's population. In the United States, 44% of assessed stream miles, 64% of assessed lake acres, and 30% of assessed bay and estuarine square miles are not clean enough to support uses such as fishing and swimming. 1.2 trillion gallons of untreated sewage, stormwater, and industrial waste are discharged annually into U.S. waters. The Mississippi River, which drains nearly 40% of the continental United States, carries 1.5 million metric tons of nitrogen pollution into the Gulf of Mexico each year. The resulting dead zone in the Gulf each summer is about the size of New Jersey. This is the second largest dead zone among more than 400 identified around the world. An intelligence community assessment from the United States Director of National Intelligence, dated February 2, 2012, predicts that global water shortages will increase the risk of instability and failure of countries important to United States national security interests. This assessment further states that between now and 2040, global demand for fresh water will increase at a greater rate than supply. A United Nations panel on climate change found that by mid-century, annual water availability will increase in high latitudes and in wet tropical areas, but decrease by 10 to 30% in dry regions at mid-latitudes and in the dry tropics. World population will increase by 1.2 billion by 2025. According to the 2030 Water Resources Group, 1/3 of the world's population will live near water basins that will have water deficits of more than 50% by 2030. Agriculture operations use approximately 70% of the global freshwater supply. However, many countries have overpumped their groundwater to satisfy growing food demand. Depleted and degraded groundwater can threaten food security and thereby risk social disruption. Water problems can contribute to instability in states important to the United States national security interests. Water shortages or poor water quality may not cause state failure, but when combined with poverty, social tensions, environmental degradation, and ineffectual leadership, they will contribute to social disruptions that can result in state failure. In addition, water becomes a weapon when upstream countries impede downstream flow. This risk may be realized within a decade. Vulnerable regions include the Nile Basin, which runs through 10 countries in Central and Northeastern Africa before traveling through Egypt. Also included are the Tigris-Euphrates River in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, the Jordan River, long the subject of dispute among Israel, Jordan, and the Palestinians, and the Indus River, which includes Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and Tibet. an overtaxed and dwindling freshwater supply, a growing population requiring increased food production, freshwater sources increasingly contaminated with pollutants, national security interests threatened. What can we do today to protect tomorrow? The authors of the intelligence assessment from the United States Director of National Intelligence say that they don't assume a breakthrough in water technology will occur within the next decade. Introducing DGen, breakthrough technology, more than 10 years ahead of anything now available. Under Project Hydros, Umbra Applied Technologies has developed a new desalination, hydrogen, and chemical generation technology, or DGen, a paradigm shift in clean water and energy production. Umbra Applied Technologies' new DGen platform is an innovative and affordable process which produces pure water from salt water, as well as prolific amounts of hydrogen gas, sodium hydroxide, chlorine, chlorine dioxide, hydrochloric acid, and oxygen, with a zero emissions footprint. This is a true renewable energy process, including opportunities for enhanced oil recovery, carbon credits, and nitric acid production. DGen is poised to revolutionize water purification and clean energy production, with the only emission being water vapor. The potentially self-powered DGen platform is a groundbreaking disruptor technology, generating clean and renewable energy, as well as 1,000 plus gallons per minute clean, potable water. Umbra Applied Technologies' proprietary electrolytic technology permits a continuous, sustainable reaction, resulting in valuable byproducts from salt water. Depending on configuration, a single chamber can produce more hydrogen gas and customizable mixtures of the most effective biocidal disinfectants available for water disinfection. Compared to DGen, current technologies such as reverse osmosis and ultrafiltration have 4 major limitations. The first is disposal. Both concentrate salt, a portion of which has to be disposed of, often causing either groundwater contamination or negative marine life impact. The DGen platform has no effluent disposal, just valuable byproducts and fresh potable water. The second is concentration limitation. Both conventional technologies have limitations that prevent their use in higher brine concentrations. DGen has no upper concentration limitation. In fact, the higher the concentration of salt, the more usable and valuable the byproducts it produces. Third is lack of valuable byproducts. Both conventional technologies are expensive, with no saleable byproducts other than water and salt. In contrast, DGen produces disinfected, fresh potable water and valuable chemicals that can be sold worldwide. And finally, conventional technologies require complex and expensive treatment processes. DGen's proprietary technology is simpler and yet remains a complete treatment system, producing quality potable water at a fraction of the cost, all with less impact on the environment. DGen's single process offers the most cost-effective desalination and power generation by providing less expensive clean water production while helping to repair existing environmental damage, renewable and clean energy production, the production of highly valuable chemicals in demand worldwide. Umbra Applied Technologies has developed a cost-effective, continuous reaction technology for removing carbon dioxide from emissions utilizing the sodium hydroxide produced by its DGen platform. Essentially, this technology converts carbon dioxide, the major greenhouse gas, to a solid that is usable in many products, thus avoiding release into the atmosphere and contributing to the global warming crisis. Umbra Applied Technologies has identified 2 negative effects of current desalination technology. First, disruption of the seabeds during pipe installations, and intakes that fatally draw in fish and other marine life. And second, highly concentrated brine effluent disposal, which is typically at twice the salinity of normal seawater and kills many marine species of plants, fish, crustaceans, as well as life-sustaining microorganisms. In Dubai, where there are numerous desalinization plants, an increase in the shark and sea snake population has had a detrimental effect on beachfront resorts due to the hazards these predators pose to humans. In Ensenada, Mexico, desalinization has wiped out literally all life in the vicinity of the desalinization effluent disposal. Umbra Applied Technologies intends to use a subfloor intake system that eliminates the negative marine life effects described, using a horizontal drilling intake system below the seafloor in conjunction with DGen's zero effluent disposal technology. The benefits of this technology include inexpensive, safer, and more efficiently produced resources. Although preferred over chlorine, chlorine dioxide is currently 5 to 10 times more expensive than chlorine when produced by conventional methods and thus utilized less frequently. Chlorine dioxide has 3 major benefits over chlorine: broader spectrum biocidal disinfection, longer lasting disinfectant, and no carcinogens such as trihalomethanes. DGen's 3-step treatment methodology is simpler and up to 70% less expensive than current methods. Further benefits to this technology to the environment are the many agricultural uses. Fuel and water are major cost components of farming and ranching. Both can be produced with DGen's proprietary process at a significantly reduced cost. Additionally, many deserts of the world have large strata of salt water that could be used for irrigation. New technologies are emerging for production of alternative cements that utilize 100% fly ash, a byproduct of coal-fired electrical plants, most of which is dumped in landfills. Sodium hydroxide is the major cost item in fly ash production, and through UAT's proprietary technology, sodium hydroxide can now be produced and delivered for less. Concrete production causes nearly 10% of the world's greenhouse gases. Through the implementation of the DGen platform, the potential now exists to eliminate such greenhouse gases from what is the production of the single largest volume substance produced by man. Umbra Applied Technologies, just a better way. With UAT's electrolytic technology, consumers and the environment benefit from hydrogen gas generation with minimal impacting emissions and no carbon dioxide production. No toxins released into the environment. Fresh water production for water-strained locales. Useful chemicals produced sustainably. No negative marine life effects. And new jobs from sustainable, clean technology and energy. With UAT's new DGen platform, the benefits extend to water purification, a cost-efficient sewer process, efficient hydrogen generation, emissions reduction and conversion technologies, sodium hydroxide for food processing, and low-cost alternative cement. Umbra Applied Technologies. Changing the world is what we do.